Hey YouTube, welcome to another video. Continuing straight on from the video I just uploaded previously. Might not be immediately after this one, like in terms of when you see it, but it's me just continuing on. What we just did was we added some new functionality using Claude. It worked very well with our new instructions, which I'm very happy with. So we have the ability to update email address, and we also have the ability to get the user profile. I almost pushed it to Git without videoing it, so just not that it really matters, but yeah, we've added that. We're going to commit this to our Git repo, so that's a new functionality there. So what we're now going to do is we are going to bring back good old Claude. Very happy with the instructions working. We're going to go here, and if we go to our functionality, we've got this password reset route, and password reset service. We don't have a test. So I am just going to delete these files just to make sure that we're giving Claude the most recent versions, and I will drag them across, add them to our project scope. So I am also just going to go back into this project, or chat, sorry, and I am going to copy this, because that instruction set did seem to work very well. I'm going to paste this. We are adding we're going to do tests to our application. We want to create, so none of this is going to be relevant. We want to test our password reset controller, password reset routes, and password reset services files. Remember, we do all testing with Jest. Remember, we use our services directly and do not mock API calls / responses. Remember, we also use, I forget what it's called, Mongo memory server rather than a separate test database connection. Okay, please ensure you follow our Express.js error handling and validation docs. Understanding this is important for how you write the tests. Equally, please don't forget how we use validation chains in case there are any validation tests. Okay. Okay, yes, one test file is fine. Let's mock the email. Ooh, if there are any validation chains missing, please advise what validation chains we need to create and other parts of our code that require updating. Then provide the tests based on the use of these validation chains. Yes, test rate limiting. Yes, for the rate limiting tests, for rate limiting tests, run them separate. All right. saying we need to add validation chains. I thought we had, we do have reset password. That's password reset. Oh no, password reset. What's the difference? There's a bit of duplication there. What, password reset and reset password? Why is that? Just going to password reset routes. Before you proceed, why are there So the password reset is used on the post request, I've just noticed. So when you're saying you've forgotten your password, so we're validating that the email exists. Okay, that makes sense. It's probably poorly worded in terms of what the validation's for. More accurate would be like password reset request. It's also changed for our, before you proceed, for the password reset validations, why did you remove the custom? Okay, so it didn't change anything. It's also, are you sure we need to update the reset password chains? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So it didn't actually need to update the validation chains. Yes, please now proceed with the test file. Okay. So we are mocking our email service. It did ask if it could do that, so that's fine. Creating our user. Generate reset token. Yep. 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 Okay, looks pretty good to me. Let's just look at what it said. So test suite, testing the password reset functionality, testing the controller and routes, testing rate limiting even, includes validation testing for the email format validation password requirements, blah, blah. Our tests follow the error handling guidelines and the validation patterns. Fantastic. Cool. That all makes sense. So what we're going to do is we'll, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I'm trying to keep the code base as the main focus so everyone can see it. We will go to our password reset functionality. We will go new file. We will do password reset.test.js. We are going to copy and we are going to paste. We're going to save. Everything's still running on our server, so we haven't broken anything. Not that we didn't actually write any code, so it shouldn't have broken. unwritten test, and we are going to go to password dash reset password test.js. And we'll see how the tests go. Not bad, 4 failed, 15 passed. So let's have a look at this. Okay, so I don't think we have okay, so it got just a different error message. So the password reset should throw an error for an invalid token. So here we've got is valid, comparing the tokens. If it's not valid, it's throwing the validation error. So I think that's just a problem with our test, to be honest. We go back here, Control F, Control V. Should throw an error for an invalid token. So that test does pass, and then above it on line 70, password reset service. If no password reset token. So, interesting. So if no password reset token, it's throwing that error. Yeah, I think this should just be the same. Should throw error for invalid token. Should throw error for. Just thinking this through. If there's no password reset token, we need to throw this error instead. Let's just check. What were the other fails? So invalid. Yeah. So password reset. So for this other one, if we go to our password reset controller, reset password, res.status. Why is it 200? So generate reset token. Yeah. Should successfully reset password with valid token. Okay. So rate limiting should limit password resets, and it failed because too many requests. Okay. We are going to ask Claude, please don't write any code yet. Look at these errors we received. provide advice if it is an issue with how we are structuring the tests, or if our code base needs to be updated. So that's what we saw. This is an issue with our test, not our code. Yeah. I'm going to do this one at a time. I think there's a chance that this doesn't work because this test, I think because this test could theoretically be testing both this and this. So depending on what triggers the test, depends on what fails. I think. Yeah. 4 failed. Let's see if that helps. Okay, 3 failed. So that did help. Now with the second one, this likely indicates 2 issues. Our routes expects the token in the request body, but we're sending it in query params. We're missing validation requirements. Okay, so let's look at our reset password route. Reset password calls this reset password, which is our controller. We are getting the token of the URL. Okay, so query params. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, it's going to answer the question for us. Okay. Copy. So let's do this error handling one first. App error. Then oh, sorry. I'm in the wrong file. We're not importing that into app error, obviously. Let me just move this over here so I can see. Sorry. Okay, app error. Our error middleware. So in error middleware, we don't have app error, so we'll do that. And then update the handler to use express response instead of throwing handler. Two issues. Sorry, my bad. Not there. Error utils. In here. App error is imported. Import. There are 2 issues here. App error isn't imported. The error might not be called by handler. Okay, I think it's getting a little bit confused because it's saying to import app error from utils error types, which is not correct. So we will say for the rate limiting, you please and rate limiter. Saying app error isn't installed here. Generate, yep. handler. We need to import app error. Update that handler to use express response instead of throwing. Well, why would you import for the rate limiting error? Why are you importing app error but then not using it? I think I should just import app error and then still throw the error with app error. Let's ask it that. You're absolutely right. Okay, that's what we had. Fantastic, thank you. We'll run the test again. And then we've got to go back and fix these other issues. Okay, 3 failed still. Oh, hang on, rate limiting. Okay, so what else did we have to change in the rate limiting? Right. Looking at the routes file. Rate limiting. So expected receive, yeah, indicates our rate limit isn't. So now throw, yeah. Okay. So I'm just asking, I've updated the rate limiter, and we use app error, but I don't know if rate limiter, where's rate limiter being used? Ah, it's not. Password routes. Rate limit. Okay. But it still returns a 500. Don't write any code, but let me know what you think is wrong. And here's the issue. Okay, so the rate limiter is middleware that runs before our error handling middleware. When we throw an app error, it needs to be called by our error handling middleware. However, express rate limit might be swallowing our app error or transforming it before it reaches our error handler. Okay. Okay, let's use next new app error. Okay. Still failed. Okay, that didn't work either. But it received undefined. Expected result received undefined. I think it's just an error with our test. So if I just ask, great, we get the 429 response. However, it is expecting a response of false in the res.body.success. However, but I think this is just an error with the test because of how we have to catch the error from express rate limit. What do you think? Yeah, blocks a request. It's sending its own response format, bypassing our standard. Yep. Our middleware expects the response with false, but it's not getting that. So we update our test to expect express rate limits response format, or we use express rate limits handle. Okay, well we tried the handler and it didn't work. So let's just update our tests. Profile, no, not profile tests. So bring this over here. So we're not getting that. I'm just going to expect it to be defined. And then on the second one, okay. Let's run that. We should hopefully get down to one failure. No, 3. Too many requests. I think the only way to do it is to not use our error handling middleware. So we have to get rid of this and do a separate handler, then run this. One failed. Okay. So if we go back here, we can actually put in the body to be false. I'll just run that one more time to double check. I'll fix up our last error, and then we will probably finish the video there, because I think it's been a pretty successful approach to writing Jest tests in a much simpler manner. Alright, so here's what we've got left to do. So should reset the password with a valid token. Okay, so if we bring Claude back here, update reset password controller to consistently handle token locations. Okay, so with our route, we call a post request to reset. Reset password, and we get the token of the query param. Our route expects the token in the request body. It doesn't. We still have one test error to fix. You said that our password reset route expects the token in the request body. However, here is our controller. Which is getting it off of our query params. What do you think? Okay, so it's the test that's failing. So auth /. Okay. Yeah, okay, so yes, let's password reset. It's all the same. Password, reset password, user ID. So it's just changed from query to query, sorry, from body to query. Cool. Actually, let's just go back here. Let's just run the test again. One failed. Password reset test, failed to run, query is not defined. Middleware validation chains. 182. Custom. Reset password. Query is not defined. I get this error. For writing code, explain. Okay. Yes. So, body. We did it tell us that? Okay, I missed that before. It updated the email. Sorry, it updated the imports. It's also got validate email, which we do have. Okay, cool. So let's go back here, run the test. Everything passed. How good's that? Fantastic. Green across the board. Oh, that is the validate. So it's a throwing validation error, but that's what it's meant to do for the test. Okay, that's great. What I do want to do is just, if we go, let's just go to components, profile. I don't expect anything has changed. Profile.test.js. Just want to double check it ourselves, make sure that that doesn't fail. Again, I don't expect that anything which changed would affect that, but let's see. Everything passed. Fantastic. So now we're going to commit this code. So git add, we'll call git commit -m added password reset tests. You enter on that. And one final thing that we're going to do is, no, we haven't finished fixing all of our tests. So we will wrap the video there. I think that's a very successful we've learnt some really important lessons so far tonight with using Claude and giving it more instructions to be better organized or better prepared in terms of how we want it to think about our code base. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.